GM Crypto AI News Analysis here. It is January 13th. And before I get on with this video, another thing to talk about in this video are buy or sell signals or buy any of these tokens. All of them are of my own conviction and of my own research where I think the current market direction is going. So let's just get on with the price action really quick. So let's just start off with virtuals here, which is the main ecosystem we'd like to talk about on base chain. And right now it is at this very crucial support zone. And earlier it was at this super downwick. As you can see, virtuals is getting pretty fucked, and it had a nice bounce because of BTC. And if we look at BTC on the liquidation heat map, it is climbing the ranks. And I did mention perhaps yesterday's video that around here BTC is probably going to start bottoming, and it did sweep the liquidity down here, which was a huge moment where everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the bull run. But that ended up actually having a huge recovery pump, and now we're back at pretty much yesterday's price, but a little higher. And we'll see what's going to happen. It might actually do a reversion up to 100K again, which would look very, very nice for AI agents here, especially with that small price action leading to some violent price returns. So even if we look at some of the stronger coins, so Acolyte is a strong coin. I don't have this. I should have bought this, but I mean, it's still not late, but this one's going to do really fucking good. This is essentially an AI agent that's some sort of infra coin. I got to do more research on this, but this is extremely strong. And even game dipped down here to 100 million, and then it did a 60% pump from that. So pretty fucking insane, where there was a lot of good opportunities to buy these virtuals tokens, and it's good to be in the screen. I personally was at screen, but I was doing some other shit besides crypto, so I wasn't able to exactly catch any of these. But overall, doesn't look too bad. Macro wise, we're looking pretty good, especially with some recent news that came out, and I'll go on and touch that. But if we look at Solana on the other hand, so AS16Z doesn't look as great as virtuals. I mean, actually, it's bouncing a little bit here, but there's some bullshit going around still with the founder here, which is causing the chart of AS16Z to go down a lot more than it should have. And if we look at meme coins in comparison, so meme coins are actually just chilling at this level, which is kind of weird. So if we look at PopCap, no, I mean, it's not weird, but it's just going sideways here, so nothing too crazy to worry about. Let's get on with the Cookie.fun dashboard really quick. So as we can see from here, market cap wise has increased a bit because of virtual price action. Smart engagement is going down slightly, but that's not too much of a cause for concern. And one of the interesting things here is that Fartcoin is actually gaining a bit of mind share. So if we look at Fartcoin, so Solana AI, and then pull up Fartcoin here. So Fartcoin is having a very nice leg from its lows to 1 billion once again. So it's getting some sort of mind share once again. I'm not really sure. I have to catch up on why it's pumping this hard, but this is quite an interesting thing to see, especially with a coin like this. And let's just go on with the tweets here. So just glance at the charts. 2021 and 2024 are basically twins. Is over. So a lot of retail people, they look at the charts and they have no idea how Bitcoin actually works in terms of the chart level. Currently, if we were to say where we are in the charts, we're probably around here in comparison to where the charts are. But they look at this at the larger scale and they're like, oh my gosh, it's going to do the same exact thing. Because as human beings, we have a pattern recognizing behavior where we see something that happened before and we think it's going to happen again. And it's for a good reason, because that's actually the case sometimes when that happens. But in the markets here, our psychology is probably our greatest enemy. And when we see this previous patterns, it's not that much of a reason for it to happen again. I mean, sometimes it can, and there actually is a legitimate reason statistically for that to happen sometimes, but it's not a good enough reason for why it would happen again. And in this case, if you just look at a chart, maybe you would think, oh, it's probably just going to go down to zero here. But as we know, Bitcoin is primarily driven by liquidity that's being injected to the economy. And we know for pro-crypto administration of Trump and his policies have him print as much money as possible, essentially weakening the dollar and increasing the risk on sentiment since more people have money, then we're going to see a leg up. And it'll probably be a 2x from here maximum if I were to assume Bitcoin's price targets, but I'm not sure. I'm not trying to pretend like I know the future, but don't fall for these things and realize we're going much, much higher, especially in Q1. But this is the next tweet here. have conviction in what you hold. One of mine, of course, is AXPT. So this is an AXPT tweet where they're essentially saying here, for serious traders, 5 to 8 tokens max, aim more and you're spreading yourself too thin, can't properly track narratives, tokenomics, and market movements. You need concentrated positions to catch meaningful moves. Better have deep conviction in a few plays and that diversify into everything. When a sector or narrative heats up, like we're seeing with AI tokens currently, you want enough capital in these positions to make it count. Right now, the key is to have exposure to the major AI narratives while keeping dry powder for upcoming L2 launches and airdrops. But the specific number matters less than having a clear thesis for each position. So yeah, I pretty much agree with AXPT here, where when it comes to these tokens in a portfolio, you don't want to be spread out too thin, like having 40 fucking coins. I know some people have this mentality where they have to have as many industries as possible, but no, you want mainly one coin from each industry. So what I'm focusing on right now is AI, DeFi, and meme coins. So I have an AI bags, but I only have like maybe one or two. And then in meme coins, I have like one or two. And then on DeFi, I have one, which is tardy right now. But we look at these tokens and you got to realize that you don't want to spread yourself too thin, especially in a highly correlated market in crypto. So yeah, I completely agree with what he's saying here. And let's look at this next tweet here. This is why you should be wary of assets shared only by sharks. You're not going to see bottom support from these kind of shillers. Most you'll get is a period of silence and talk about the show coin again if prices recover. But do watch them repeat the playbook with a fresh asset when they find an opportunity. So this is a daily runner that was launched a couple days ago. LLM, which is essentially a fat version of AS16Z. And the chart is pretty much down only ever since then, because you got to realize these meme coins are pretty much all pump and dumps from zero to some crazy ass shit. And the people who launched it, they're out here farming on your ass. And you got to realize that they're not out here trying to make you rich. They're trying to make themselves rich first off. So there's also a period where shillers that make these tokens or are cabal behind it, these guys like to shill the tokens for extra liquidity when the token is at its local tops. They aren't shilling the coins when they're going down like this. Nobody is talking about this on crypto Twitter. They're only talking about it when it's going up, which is probably one of the worst things to do when you're a retail investor, because you're like, oh my gosh, maybe I'll make money on it too. But no, they're just trying to look for liquidity to dump on your ass. So be careful. So let's look at the next tweet here. Everyone in crypto right now is everyone just hugging Donald Trump. And the reason why is because there was this big news about Donald Trump where he said President-elect Trump expected to issue executive orders related to crypto policies on his first day in office. So this is actually insane fucking news, because previously we thought that Donald Trump, it's going to take him some time to start executing some crypto orders here, making things better within his administration. But he's actually coming out and saying, okay, guys, I'm not going to make you guys wait. When I'm in office, I'm blasting all this crypto news and go fucking crazy for everyone. I'm going to pump all your bags. Like, everyone's pretty happy about that. And as a result of that, Bitcoin's price behavior actually is bouncing quite nicely. So that wasn't previously priced in. News like this, where they're not priced in. So we already knew that Donald Trump is going to be a pro-crypto administration. But these small little micro news, where it makes an even more bullish case and it's not priced into the market, is going to make the market go up like that, which is very, very nice for our coins here. But let's look at this next tweet. AI Mindshare hit 70% last week, but there's a new category broken off of DeFAI with 6% market share. So I'm going to talk about this. But arguably, AI is sitting at 55%. Regardless, attention pivots slightly as Abstract plus Suzuki garner attention. So yeah, AI is pretty fucking insane. And then DeFAI, which is essentially a subsector of AI, it's essentially DeFi plus AI. So they're being integrated together. And then there's meme coins, which is also going to be another big narrative. But AI is still fucking huge, as we can see from here. But let's look at this next tweet. If you're unsure what the dead internet theory is, look it up. Banger from BP, capturing the essence of what is fast becoming reality online. So there's this picture of some flowers, and then bones, and then some computer shit. And essentially, this is a bit of a bold post for AI, actually, because the dead internet theory is that ever since 2016, 2017, the internet has been mainly ruled by bots, some internet shit. Like, if you go on Twitter and you have a bunch of these random ass bot accounts following you, you would think they're humans, but no, they're actually probably bots. Like, I remember there was a podcast thing about Elon where apparently only about 20% of Twitter users before he came in were actual human beings. So that's kind of weird, right? When you go on social media, okay, are these people around me, are they humans or are they bots? Am I arguing with AI? And there is some theory that's coming about this, right? But this could actually be the case later on when AI agents become much, much more mainstream and retail is using it in their everyday lives. And it's not going to be much of a theory anymore when dead internet is actually a thing. And perhaps maybe there's a billion people using the internet or a couple billion people using the internet. Well, it's going to be at a point where perhaps trillions of AI agents are across the internet. This theory is going to reign true. And that's actually good for our AI bags because that means AI is going to be pumped as a sector here. But let's go to the next tweet. So, yeah, again, just more pro-Trump things where they said that he is the first crypto president. So a bit more bold posting for crypto for Trump. And then here it is, just to make my point very clear here, Coinbase is lagging hard with their shitcoin listings. So Coinbase hasn't really listed any coins. So Coinbase does have their own chain, the base chain. And as we see from other centralized exchanges like Binance, and Kraken, these guys like to list meme coins. So Binance, I think they listed Act and Peanuts and Mudang, which made their prices go fucking crazy here. But you got to also realize that centralized exchanges, the ones that haven't really listed anything yet, and maybe Coinbase has a reason for it. Maybe they're looking for better conditions, but we know that Coinbase, their own chain, they're most likely going to push their own chain first. And when that comes, they're probably going to push the biggest tokens on there. So they're going to push their meme coins, and then they're also going to push probably even virtuals because virtuals is built on base chain. So virtuals can get a listing from Coinbase, get retail interest, and pretty much all the virtuals coins get pumped to the moon, while also base meme coins will go super fucking good. So top ones, in my opinion, are Ski Mask Dog and then Keyboard Cat are the top two, I would think. I personally like Keyboard Cat more, but I look at those and you got to realize that there's still a lot more room for base to grow, essentially since there are no listings on it yet. And retail doesn't even really super know about base chain just yet, but they will know once things go fucking crazy because Coinbase has every reason to list these tokens on their platform. But let's look at the next tweet here. The AI trade will be the last rest of the cycle. Most coins will die, but some will keep minting. The big money will be made by rotating next AI submeta, which looks like DeFi AI at the moment. So he's talking about decentralized finance AI. So I'm going to show this tweet here where it explains what this is, because I had to do some research on this, and I think it actually is going to be pretty big too. But, bro, what is DeFi? An explanation of DeFi and AI in very simple terms. So let's see here. Hey, bro, what is DeFi? Is DeFi plus, bro? So easy, come on. Imagine your mom having to bridge or interact on-chain, lol, impossible, bro. Wait, so it can bridge, swap, lend, but also research for me, bro? So essentially, AI-assisted DeFi. So when you do DeFi things, you got to do all this bullshit. You got to learn about DEXs. You got to learn about seed phrase, all this bullshit. But eventually, there's going to point where AI is going to come in as a utility, and you just essentially just ask AI to do shit for you. Like coders, they just talk to ChatGPT to code some shit for them, and then they can look over and be like, okay, I don't have to type it anymore. I just ask ChatGPT with a natural language to code something for me. But now the ease of usage for crypto, because crypto is probably going to be the future of finance, right? Unironically, because of how Bitcoin is just going to get more valuable as the dollar weakens. And as that becomes a reality, then retail is going to get more interested in this. And what is retail interested in? Well, they want to be interested in a blockchain and technology that is as easy to use as possible. And AI is going to help with that because now they don't have to figure out the shit. They just ask their AI assistant, which is going to come from decentralized AI, to do their shit for them. So go, bro. DeFAI, the fusion of AI with decentralized finance, promises to simplify on-chain interactions like never before. Hey, Anon, it is DeFAI protocol built to make DeFi interactions easier and bring together key project-related information. What the fuck? Let's start with DeFAI. The goal is to make interacting with DeFi projects like Aave or Uniswap easier for non-crypto users with the help of AI. So Uniswap is actually launching a version 4, so maybe they'll be launching one of our own tokens about DeFi AI or some shit. I don't know. But let's look at this. Okay. Imagine your mom wants to use Aave on Arbitrum. She deposits $1,000 on Binance and buys $1,000 of USDC. She tries to send them to Arbitrum, but it doesn't work. She has to first send them to BSC, bridge them to Arbitrum, and then deposit into Eva. Yeah, mom. So that's all you have to do. Mom, you okay? Yeah. You got to realize that retail interests, like normies, they hear all this shit. They have to do bridging. They got to go to central exchanges. They got to put all this bullshit, like what the fuck do you mean about this, right? But then you look at this, right? No way she's doing that. Exactly. It's very unlikely she'll have the time to do all that. If you notice, I didn't even mention gas fees. So normies have to know about gas fees too. It's a high barrier of getting into crypto here. But DeFi AI is an attempt to make your mom's experience much simpler, which is why decentralized AI could be super fucking big here. So how? Through AI, your mom could simply say, hey, lend my $1,000. In the background, all the steps we mentioned earlier, the ones that would make her give up actually are fully automated. Mom, listen, that's okay. My internet friends fixed it. It's called DeFi AI. Is it Hey Anon? That's one of the things Hey Anon can do. Yes, it can also keep you updated on project news and help analyze trends on different platforms and protocols. Wait, what? You can think of Hey Anon as your personal DeFi assistant. It checks all the platforms you can think of, like Twitter, Telegram, Discord, and even GitHub, to stay updated on everything happening. Then you can simply ask it your questions. Data is cool, but what can it do for me? It can bridge to layer 0 for you, lend or borrow on EVA, swap tokens to on-chain P, or even monitor gas fees to interact with your favorite project when they're low. Basically, it does most of the things you would normally do manually. And TLDR, DeFi AI simplifies DeFi AI. Instead of manually managing all your on-chain tasks, a simple prompt is all you need. Hey Anon is a version of DeFi that can swap, lend, borrow, and bridge tokens while also keeping updated on everything happening in the space. So I don't have this Hey Anon coin, but I'll look it up right now. So Hey Anon. So this is essentially a token that they're trying to pass off as a decentralized AI token. So this is a 200 million market cap, pretty fucking huge, but it could go much higher, obviously, if the tech is actually true for this case. I gotta add this to my watch list, but you gotta realize this decentralized finance AI is going to be a large infrastructure play for when retail comes in, and then instead of them having to do all this bullshit where they have to learn about bridging and they have to learn about other chains and Arbitrum, all this shit. Well, they just have an AI to do it, like, hey, on here, and that is the use case for that. So it's going to be pretty big. Essentially, if you believe that crypto will onboard a shit ton of normies onto it, and something like this is going to essentially lubricate that whole process there. So things like these could be super cool. Decide if I want to get into this or not, but it's going to get pretty fucking big here, decentralized finance AI. But the whole AI sector still looks really good here. Virtuals is bouncing a bit, and what I recommend. So meme coins, DCing is still a good idea, but AI agents are actually showing a little bit of strength here, and it is possible for Bitcoin to have some sort of fuck over. I mean, at this point, it's actually going above 95K, and the probability of it going back down to lows is getting lower and lower. But you never know, right? But it's always just a good idea to DCA in slowly if you're getting to it for the first time, until you see some sort of noticeable strength in virtuals again. But that's much all I wanted to say in this video, and I'll see you guys.